Hi everyone, this is Zandara with Whispering Willow Wild Care, and I just got an adult red-tailed honkin. He was found hopping around. Apparently he'd been hopping around this area for a couple days, and we were finally able to get him. So what I'm hoping you can join me doing is we're going to check the bird out, see if we can find any obvious injuries. What I'm going to do first and foremost, since that mouth is open, this is a mix of painkiller, anti-inflammatory, and some antibiotics that I prearranged after seeing the size of the bird. Do not do this, I'm just letting you know, but I'm going to slip right in there. So birds have two tubes in their throat, unlike one with ours. One of them goes to their lungs and the other goes to their stomach. So you have to be very careful to make sure that you get the right one. That's why you should never try to force feed a bird unless you know exactly what you're doing. So hopefully that'll make them feel better. Now we'll check out some wings here. See this? Nothing obvious like a compound. Compound fractures are basically where the bone's sticking out. This is for flat flies. Unfortunately, wild birds have flat flies, and this one just had one pop out at me. They kind of suck their blood like little vampires, so try to get rid of them when we can. I'm not feeling or seeing any break on this wing. Looks like it's in good shape. Get those talons away from my hand. Again, nothing super obvious. What I'm doing after I do a quick look is I'm feeling the bone to see if I can feel anything displaced. I'm still pretty new about trying to locate fractures, but I can catch most things on my own. But all our birds end up going to vets. So the care right now is just, it just came in. We need to try to stabilize the bird, get it as well off as we can until we can get it to the vet, because today is Saturday night. It would be pretty hard to get him in right away. I'm not seeing anything obvious on the wings. That's the most obvious place. So now I'm checking the legs, but considering how hard he tried to grab me with these sharp talons here, I'm not expecting it to be a leg injury. One of the possible things it could be is something called West Nile. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. This is pretty much probably the tail end of when we would see a bird come in with West Nile. I'm not seeing any face injuries. I don't see any face injuries, buddy. That's really hard to take care of. I've personally only seen one bird recover from West Nile. So we just do our best to make them comfortable. Right. If you hear some sprays, it's me getting these stupid flat flies. Not only do I not want them on the bird, but I don't want them flying around my house either. It's harmless for birds. Obviously, I don't spray it near their face. If there's a flat fly on their face, then I will do my best to get it off. All right. Bird has been checked out. I'm not seeing anything obvious. So now I'm going to burrito the little bird up. Actually, I'm going to put my other glove on first. And then I'm going to give fluids. So if you have a problem with needles, you might not want to watch the rest of the video. I actually have had some serious issues with needles. It took me a while to get to the point where I could give a bird fluids. I do not like that. So there's a couple ways to do it. Depends on who taught you and the bird and everything you're comfortable with. I was told to go through the outside of the thigh, although I know people that go on the inside, and that's fine if they know what they're doing. But I am going to go for the outside. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you see me wrapping the bird up. So I'm sure everybody's seen a falconry hood. Birds are calmer when they can't see. That doesn't mean that she's not going to stab me if given the opportunity, but it does calm them down a little bit. Oh, there's some more bugs. So I am shifting the feet over to my other hand so that bugs. So I can control the feet. Definitely always want to control the feet. Hawks do bite, but they are much more likely to stab you with their talons. So I'm gonna, oh, there's another bug. Very gross. All right. I still have the legs. There we go. Bird's not putting up too much of a fight. It's probably very dehydrated. So we do fluids for two reasons. One, obviously, like I said, the bird's been around for a couple of days, so he's probably dehydrated just from that. Also, when they go into shock, that can cause a problem. Move the camera here. Does that work? Okay, so this is a thigh. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Can you guys see that bird chest? So our breastbone is flat. Birds are not, because it's actually where their pectoral muscles attach for their wings. This bird is pretty thin. I've seen thinner, but it's pretty thin. So as soon as we get this done and I get him settled, I'll give him some chow. I have some fluids already ready. This is basically a saline solution from a bag that you would find in a doctor's office. Ooh, another flat fly. Same thing. And it's already been warmed up in some water. Some people use drip it right from the bag. I, to be perfectly honest, have not figured out how to do that without the bag leaking. So I am trying to find some skin. Obviously, you've got the regular feathers. If you got the little down feathers, it's not really easy to find some skin. So that's one of the reasons I like a big meaty thigh right up here. And then I'm just gonna use some of this warm water to help me get the feathers back. Some people will do different methods. This is what I've found works for me. Like I said, I've been doing fluids for a couple of years, but it's not my favorite thing to do. It's easier on the bigger birds. Come in, this little screech owl, and you've got to give it fluids. It's harder. All these down feathers, sometimes it's hard to find the skin. So we really have no idea what happened to this bird. There's some skin. And because I don't see any major injuries, it could be West Nile, it could be something else that we don't know offhand. It could be a fracture. If it's not an obvious fracture, I wouldn't necessarily feel it. That's something that an x-ray would show. They said that it had been hopping around a little bit. And then, oh, sorry guys. Can you see the little patch of skin I made in there? The skin is definitely showing signs of dehydration. Oh, you can get a good look at my kitchen. How's that? Rehabbers always say they should have 3 hands. I guess you need 4 if you're trying to use a camera too. All right. So you, well, not you, rehabbers. To do something like this, we go under the skin, but not into a muscle or anything. So it depends on how hard it is with the bird, but this bird looks like, yep, really easy. Just gently squeezing. How much depends on how dehydrated the bird is, how big the bird is, how much the bird fights. So right under the skin, I'm going to slowly see a bubble forming. And then I will also be able to gauge how quickly it's going and being absorbed by the body. I will probably do this in a couple of hours, you know, before I go to bed, and then I'll do it again in the morning if the bird is still with us. This bird is being very mellow. I mean, it sure makes this easier, don't get me wrong, but it's obviously never a good sign. This is a bird of prey, and here I am stabbing him with a needle, even if I am being careful. He was alert though, that's a good sign. They said that he was not really flying all that well. And then when he did land, he seemed kind of off balance. One of the signs of West Nile is neurological, but also, you know, obviously being hit in the head could be a neurological. A leg fracture would obviously explain why maybe he didn't want to get a good land on that leg. My bubble's just about to the point where I'm gonna stop for now. It's a cooperative bird. It's unfortunate for the bird, but like I said, it makes things easier on me. Bird friend again. This bird is an adult. See this red tail? They get their red tail when they turn 2. So sometimes we'll have a first-year juvenile come in. They're full grown, but their hunting skills aren't quite up to par yet. There you are. And they just need a little TLC, some food, and then we can let them go. But obviously something's wrong with this one. Get my other glove on. And then I'm gonna put him in a box, feed him, because it looks like he could use some food, and then check him out again in the morning. Yeah, there we go. There's a foot. It's good that, you know, still have some kick. And it's definitely not anything wrong with the feet. Oh, there's another flat fly. Not a fan, people. All right, so little hawk friend is going in the box, and hopefully we'll be doing better tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on my little hawk adventure for the evening, and hopefully I will be able to update you guys soon. Have a good night.